Hey guys, welcome into another YouTube video. In this video we are testing the 6600 rig that I have on a bunch of different miners. I realize this video is going to be super long. I've actually already made the entire video now, so you're going to get a second introduction after this little clip, but I figured we'd just go through the results first as opposed to you guys having to watch like a 30-minute video or just skipping to the end to find the results. They're just here at the start. So the absolute all-out winner is Team Red Miner up here at the top, 231.4 mega hash with 405 watts at the wall, 192 shares per hour, which was beaten by Team Black and NB Miner, but given my degree of accuracy, that could just be an error in like my degree of accuracy. But yeah, they obviously used a fair amount more watts at the wall to get that. They couldn't undervolt as low. So the efficiency on Team Red is 0.57, which is insane. Probably the most efficient GPU mining rig made from gaming GPUs that you can make. If you use like CMP 170HX, then yes, you will get better efficiency than this by a long shot. Shares per hour per watt, so that's the legit efficiency measured pool and wall. So yeah, 0.4741, that's not a comparable figure to anything. So then the last one is shares per hour per mega hash, which is just testing how accurate the mega hash in the miner is relative to like percentage based how much it's getting on the shares. So this, yeah, only comparable against that metric. So I've got the metric here for my other two rigs, just these two, so those are roughly normal numbers, and then the higher the number is, the better it is, the more shares it's getting per mega hash it claims it's getting. So yeah, Team Red did very good, MB also did very good, but the higher wattage made it less efficient, and the worst was G Miner. That's not quite good for AMD GPUs, but yeah, that's all the results. So now if you want to see me like the recordings of these actual power draws at the wall and all the settings and whatnot, you just continue on to the rest of the video, or like skip to whatever you want to see. Yeah, cheers. Hey guys, welcome into my first testing video for this rig of 8 6600s. So today what I'm going to be testing is different pools. I usually use Team Red Miner, and I've currently got it on Team Red Miner. Had it stable, already got the numbers for it and everything. This is the power draw at the wall here. It bounces between 402.6 and spikes up to like 408, 409. So we're going with an average of 405 watts at the wall. And then, yeah, I'll jump into the software side and show you everything that's going on then in there. And then I'll switch the miner, probably have to make some adjustments in order to keep it stable, and then leave it a few hours and I'll be back with the next miner. Hey guys, so as you can see, I'm in the software side of things now, getting around 231.4 mega hash on average. You can see the software power draw is between 34 and 38. The MSI that's claiming 34 is actually doing around 48, so it's pretty similar with the other cards. Yeah, some cards just do that, they underreport a bit more than other cards, but pretty equal at the wall. The ASRoCs though, they do a little bit less. Something to note is that when I had these individual cards testing them like one at a time, or even the ASRoCs I had 3 at a time, but they were all the same GPU on the one rig, they did use less power than they are using now. These are the overclock and undervolt settings if anyone wants to copy them. Obviously match up which model of GPU you have, so XFX, ASRock, MSI, Power Color. This XL one is the Hellhound, and then that's just a regular Power Color, and then Sapphire at the bottom. So yeah, they'll be just numbered across, so that's GPU 0, GPU 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, all the way down. Yeah, so those are all the overclock settings. That's the mega hash, and then I've got all the numbers collated here. So we're on Team Red Miner, 292 watts in the miner, which is just this arbitrary number here that actually isn't even remotely accurate. I wish that was accurate, because that would be a really good efficiency. Miner mega hash, so that's just the one we looked at in the miner there, 231.4. Sorry, we looked at it in Hive, 231.4 on average. You can see it jumps between 231.2 and 231.6. Probably not going to test the other miners for as long as I've tested this one, because I've just left this on overnight. So I did all my testing in here yesterday, so I made a video yesterday and it was at about 410 watts. Now I've dropped about 5 watts, and that's literally the most I can do on these, like, unless I figure out some weird trick to make them go lower. Like, I literally have gone through these one by one. Like, I've changed this number down 1 and it makes it unstable. Change it back, and then change this one down 1, makes it unstable, and then next one, so forth and so on through the whole rig, and man, that is time consuming. But yeah, that's what all this is, this instability here. And then once I got it running, I just left it going and it was all good overnight. Yeah, so back into here, the power draw at the wall, 405. The mega hash at the pool, so this one's a little bit more difficult to determine. So if you look at the green line, that's what is being told to the pool that it is receiving. So this number here, it's just the miner is telling the pool, like, hey, I'm sending you this much hash rate. So that's what the green line is. The blue line is what the pool is actually receiving, or what it determines you're currently doing, and it's based off of, you know, the shares and stuff that are getting submitted. So that blue line, we basically want to match the green line. We want it to zigzag across that green line as much as possible and not stay below it. So yeah, as you can see, it pretty much matches that green line. It goes above it, it goes below it, but it's around that line. The next metric that I'm testing is the shares per hour. So that's back in here. We look at these shares, 2072, and then divide it by 10 hours and 45 minutes. So yeah, just 645 minutes. So 2,703 divided by 645 minutes, and then times it by 60 to get the hourly shares. And that's kind of basically checking the same thing as the pool mega hash, just checking that it's actually getting to the pool, because shares submitted is what you get paid for. So that's really the metric that you want to be checking. It's like how we always look at the software power draw for checking the power draw, but what we really should be checking is this at the wall number. It's the same with the mega hash. Like, we look at the mega hash here, but really we should be considering the mega hash at the pool and the shares we're getting per hour. And then yeah, the efficiency I'm just basing on these two numbers here. So assuming this matches, the pool mega hash is roughly matching the miner mega hash, then we're just going to use that number. If it's not, like Team Black, I don't think it is going to match. We'll see, because we can't really calculate that efficiency off of an incorrect number, so I might have to do some changing of the calculations on the efficiency. I might have to use like the shares per hour or something, but just as a comparison, I might add another metric, we'll see. But yeah, as a like a generic efficiency number. Like everyone either uses this one, which is it's actually megahash per hour. That's why I had that in. Oh, sorry, megahash per watt. Sorry. So yeah, that's the megahash per watt efficiency number. Other people might use it as a percentage. They might say, like, using like 40% efficiency or whatever. That always seemed weird to me, but if that's what you use, then I mean, this is just consider that a percentage number. It's 57%, but I mean, it's not a percentage number, so yeah, we don't want that to be like that. Yeah, 0.57 megahash per watt. If you're using kilohash per watt, then just times by 1,000, and then you can compare it to whatever other numbers you've got. So yeah, this is a super efficient rig. Obviously, I believe it may be the most efficient type of rig you can make. There's a few other things you could do to make it more efficient, but I'll talk about that in a different video. This is just focused on the pools. So yeah, I guess I'm going to switch the pool. I'll probably have to change some of the overclock settings. Maybe not for Team Black, but definitely for Phoenix MB Miner. We'll see anyway. I'll let you know when I get back, and you'll see all the settings that I switch it to. So yeah, I'll switch over the miner now, and I'll see you probably in a couple of hours once it's been running for a little while. So yeah. Alright, so we're now testing the Team Black miner, and this is our current power draw, 423 watts on average. And yeah, it's fairly stable at that wattage, and I didn't have to adjust any of the overclocks. Obviously it's a bit higher power draw than Team Red Miner. It's also claiming higher megahash for that, but I'll show you that in the software side. Over in the software side of things now, so we just had something go wrong with this miner. So this is one of the reasons that I don't like Team Black Miner. It's slightly less stable than Team Red Miner, although that said, it has run many hours, 7 hours and 30, oh no, yeah, 7 hours 34 minutes stable. You can see this little bump here where it went up in hash rate. Ever since then it's been on Team Black Miner, and yeah, just a few seconds ago, 2 minutes ago or something, this one GPU dropped off. But luckily I was able to get all the numbers beforehand, because I don't want to test this for another 8 hours. But yeah, keep in mind some instability. If I had the hash rate watchdog values set for Team Black Miner, obviously it would reboot right now, but I don't, so it won't. Yeah, give this a refresh. If we look at this blue line here relative to the green line, oh yeah, it's just updated that loss of hash rate as well, that one card off. So yeah, the blue line's not too far away from the green line, so I realize that's really the best metric to try and calculate it on. So pretty much what we're going to go with is this shares per hour per watt metric over here. So yeah, we're pretty much going to just delete that column. Yeah, so miner wattage claims 0.4, that doesn't matter. 240.3 is the megahash that it was doing in the software. The wall power draw, where we're getting 423 watts on average. And the shares per hour, we were getting 194. So it is actually a slight increase over the Team Red Miner. At the start, it was a decrease. So I was going to cut the testing after like 2 or 3 hours, but I realized I should probably test it for the same amount of time that I tested the Team Red Miner, which is around the same, like close to 8 hour mark. So yeah, ran it for the full like 7 hours and 32 minutes or so, and then took these numbers, 194 shares per hour on averaged across 7 hours and 34 minutes. So the efficiency megahash per watt. So megahash in the miner, watts at the wall. It's a lower efficiency than Team Red Miner, and that's because it uses another, what is that, 18 watts at the wall, and then the shears per hour per watt. So all that's done is it's taken the total shears that this miner has done in the time that it's been up, which is 7 hours 32 minutes, divided it by however many minutes is in 7 hours and 32 minutes, and then times that by 60 to get the hourly rate, and then divided it by the watts that are used at the wall in order to get this number. You'll probably never get to compare this number to anything. This number here I'm only using for this video in comparison, because this is going to be a more accurate metric than the megahash per watt, because we're testing to see if Team Black Miner is over reporting megahash. So yeah, it was showing in the software 30.04 roughly megahash the whole time. So it's a 1.1 megahash increase on the Team Red Miner. You can see there's an extra 2 shears per hour. So 2 shears over 200 is like a 1% increase. So yeah, it's not as much as it is claiming, the extra 9 megahash, and because of that, the increased power draw makes it less efficient on the shears per hour per watt. So yeah, with these two pools, miners tested. Wow, yep, I had that wrong the whole time. Anyway, yeah, with these two tested, we can currently see that Team Red Miner is the best so far, and Team Black Miner is slightly better for the accepted shares, so you'll be getting paid slightly more, but you'll also be spending slightly more on power, so the efficiency on Team Red Miner is slightly better. That said, I will crack into the next miner, give that a go, and come back to you with the results probably tomorrow. Just a quick update on the Phoenix miner here. So unfortunately we're not going to be able to get it to run, so it's not going to be in the testing. Pretty much what's happening is no matter what clocks I put in, it just crashes. It doesn't start mining at all. It comes up with NA, stays there for a while, and then Phoenix Miner reboot. This has happened like 10 times. I initially tried it with my same overclock settings, then I reduced them slightly, or increased the millivolt setting slightly. It still didn't work, so I increased them a lot. Still didn't work. Got rid of these two settings, still didn't work. Got rid of this one setting, still didn't work. The memory voltage and the core voltage I'm not willing to get rid of, because if it actually does start mining, it's going to be drawing probably close to too much power. So yeah, don't want to do that, because it's only a 750 watt PSU on there, and I don't want to go over the 80% rule, which it probably isn't already doing. So yeah, I mean 750 watt times 0.8 minus, like, we'll call it 18 watt system idle, divide that by 8, 72.75, but these cards underreport their power usage, so times it by 0.75. If they report more than 55 watts each, then we're in trouble. And I mean, they're not even mining, and they're already... oh yep, there we go. So yeah, pretty much gonna give up on Phoenix Miner and just skip straight to MB Miner. Yeah, unfortunately, it would have been nice to have, you know, more miners in the test, but It's not going to work out that way, and yeah, I'll just move on to the next miner, and I'll be back once I've done some more testing. Quick update, we're using 430 watts roughly at the wall, and we are on MB miner, so it's a bit more wattage than the previous miners. And yeah, I'll jump into the software and show you what we're getting there. Alright, we're in the miner here, and as you can see we're getting about 29.1718 mega hash per card. We've got 1,429 accepted shares. We've been up for 7 hours 20 minutes. And then if we head into my numbers here, so we've got NB miner, the watts in the miner is 312. The mega hash in the miner is 233.4 on average. The watts at the wall with 430 on average. So the shares per hour was slightly higher than Team Red Miner. So it's 192 for Team Red Miner, and then 194 for both Team Black and NB Miner. If we look over here, so I've added this new column, and it says shares per hour per mega hash. So this is basically trying to see if the miner is over-reporting the mega hash. So if it is over-reporting the mega hash relative to the other miners, then we won't be getting enough shares to back up those mega hash numbers. So you'll see that Team Black Miner is getting less shares per hour per mega hash. We're getting less shares per mega hash, basically. Yeah, so the best one is MB Miner for shares per mega hash, because it's getting that higher 194 mega hash, 194 shares, but it's only claiming a slightly increased mega hash of 233.4. Yeah, so it just means that the miner is lying the least, basically, or it's overstating the least. If anything, it's like understating the amount of hash rate. But the number we really should care about is the shares per hour per watt. So that's this one here, which is showing Team Red Miner as the most efficient still. And yeah, unfortunately MB Miner is the least efficient because it uses the most power at 430 watts. I cannot possibly tune it down any lower than that. It just doesn't go any lower at all. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is for MB Miner. Nothing too funky, except that yeah, a lot of these numbers had to be raised in order for it to be stable. I didn't have to do that on Team Black Miner. Team Black Miner was stable just with the same settings as Team Red Miner. And Phoenix Miner, which I tried and failed to use, just wasn't stable on any settings at all. So next up is G Miner, and that will probably be the last miner that I test in this video. If you guys have any other miners you want me to test, chuck it down in the description, and I might, in the comments, and I might be able to do that at a later date. Yeah, and I just added these to my other rigs for comparison down below. The mega hash they get, the watts they use at the wall, the shares per hour, the efficiency mega hash per watt, the shares per hour per watt. So yeah, the real efficiency number, and then this was really the only number I needed to compare. I just wanted to compare what the general figure was for the shares per hour per mega hash, or the shares per mega hash basically. I just needed that number to see, like, is Team Black Miner actually lying because they're getting the least shares per mega hash, but like realistically they're all kind of within that range. you know, it's getting between 0.807 and the highest one is 0.831, so it's not like a huge margin of error. And these ones fit like between. If it was just these here, like looking at these, with it being like this one's almost 0.83, this one's almost, oh sorry, just slightly over 0.83. So with just those statistics, I would look at that and be like, yep, that's overstating mega hash because it's not getting as many shares relative to its mega hash. But once you add these two in, like these are just my other rigs that are just running as usual. They're kind of, you know, halfway between the two numbers, so it kind of makes it look like a little bit less like it's overstating the mega hash. It's just not quite as good as getting accepted shares or something. It's, yeah, I don't know, it's not too bad, it's just not the best, you know? Yeah. It's still, in terms of the shares per hour per watt, which is like the real efficiency rating, it's still better than MB miner. And yeah, like we can say that the mega hash is almost accurate, almost, but yeah, it's, so we can almost trust this, the mega hash per watt rating. Yeah, either way, just Team Red Miner is the best so far. Let's have a look at Gminer and I'll come back once that's been running for a few hours. So we're currently running Gminer. The average wattage is 429 watts, bouncing up and down from 428 to 433, 427 to 433, but on average it's been 429. Yeah, so I'll jump back into the software side and show you how Gminer's been doing. Alright, so this is Gminer all up and running. It's getting about 29.17 mega hash per GPU. You can see the software power draw is a little bit higher than Team Red Miner, but pretty similar to the other algorithms we tested. I had to use the same overclocks that I used for MB miner. It wouldn't stay, well, it wouldn't even start running using the other clocks. Unfortunately, the more efficient ones that I used for Team Red and Team Black Miner, yeah, they won't run on any other miners, unfortunately, but it's just the way it is. Yeah, so 233.3 mega hash roughly. We've been running it for about 5 hours. Got a bunch of accepted shares. These are the numbers here. So I've got Gminer, 305 watts in the software, doesn't matter. 233.2 mega hash on average, 429 watts at the wall. Horrible shares per hour, 181. All I'm doing to get that number is dividing this number here, so 940. Yeah, 940 divided by however many minutes it's been up and running, so 5 hours and 10 minutes. 940 divided by 310, and then timesing that by 60 to get it to an hour. So we're currently at 182. So we can change that, round it up to 182 shares per hour. It was at 188 and it started going down. I really expected it to go up over time. Like, you know, maybe it warms up for the first hour so the average goes up. That's why I've been running these for like between like 4 and 8 hours to, you know, get a solid few hours testing in. But it just hasn't. Like 5 hours and the efficiency started going down, so, well, the shares per hour started going down, so I just, yeah, called it at 5 hours. It's just wasted my time, really. So yeah, the mega hash per watt that it's claiming, obviously it's a higher mega hash than Team Red Miner, but it's using significantly more power, 24 watts more. So the actual mega hash per watt is down fairly significantly. Anything to do with shares, it's just horrible because, yeah, shares are low, so once you start doing shares per watt, it gets very low, or shares per mega hash. Yeah, very low. So overall, G miner is pretty disappointing. Not sure if I really expected anything more, considering G miner is more based for NVIDIA cards, but oh well, worth a try anyway. So I've added 2 other algorithms that I wanted to test these GPUs on, just having a look online, seeing which ones like other people had been comparing them to. So I just looked up, there was like a top 10 list or something, and it had LOL miner in 3rd, Phoenix miner in 2nd, Team Red in 1st. I would really like to get Phoenix miner going, but it's not playing ball with these GPUs. Won't run on any overclock settings, and I do not want to just run them without any overclock settings at all, because fire risk there with the setup that I've got on a 750 watt PSU. Yeah, so next up I'm going to try LOL miner, and I added ETH miner because I found out they had a 0% pool fee, so none of the shares will be getting diverted. So theoretically, like, if their mine is good, we'd be getting a higher hash rate. Sorry, a higher share rate. So yeah, added that one in for the test, but I don't know that either of these are going to do anywhere near as well as Team Red has currently been doing. So yeah, we'll crack into a LOL miner, and I'll see you back in a few hours, probably tomorrow morning. I'll jump on and see how it's done. Also, I will try and remember to set the hash rate watchdog this time, because I had a problem here just after I went to bed. Yeah, dropped off, woke up, and then realized like an hour after I woke up that it had been down the entire night. So that wasn't too great. That was on the last algorithm I tested, not even this one, but yeah, that was unfortunate. But yeah, I'll crack into LOL miner and see you back in a few hours. Hey, so we're just doing LOL miner, and this is the current power draw at the wall. About 126 there, so it bottoms out around 126, goes up to 129. It's probably looking at about 127 as the average power draw. And now I'll jump into the software and show you what we're getting for that. Alright, so this is what we're getting here in the software, around 28.9 to 29.03 megahash. Pretty much just seems to jump between those two quite consistently. So yeah, 231.3 megahash. The wattage is a bit higher than Team Red miner, but yeah, pretty similar in terms of in the software, pretty similar to the other miners. Now, yeah, we've got the 1390 shares and 7 hours 25 minutes up. So yeah, same way I've been doing the other calculations. 1390 divided by 445, which is 7 hours and 25 minutes, times 60, 187 shares per hour. So we've got, yeah, this is LOL miner, sorry, I forgot to say that. So yeah, 308 watts in the miner in the software. Miner mega hash 231.6, at the wall 427 watts, 187 shares per hour, so we're looking lower than Team Red, lower than all except for G miner. So the worst mega hash per watt in terms of the mega hash claimed and the wattage storing at the wall. Shares per hour per watt, not the worst, but it is second worst. So that's like the actual efficiency, it's second worst. G miner was the worst. And then the accuracy of the mega hash stated, it's slightly more accurate than G miner, but about on par with Team Black miner. Yeah, so nothing special from LOL miner. On AMD GPUs, Obviously LolMine is very good on NVIDIA GPUs along with T-Rex. I'd say they are the two best for NVIDIA GPUs, but yeah, it's not so great on AMD cards. Next up I will be testing ETH miner, so I'll see you in a few hours once I've had that running for a while. Alright guys, so the last test was a failure. I've just gone back into Team Red Miner now because yeah, couldn't get it going on ETH miner, so yeah, I just chucked in Phoenix and ETH miner, both failed. So yeah, we're left with this result here being the best result. Yeah, 0.57 is super efficient on the mega hash per watt. It's pretty crazy. I don't know of really anything else that can beat that. I even saw one of the big YouTubers put out a A2000 video today, and it didn't even come close to beating it. In fact, he was getting 400 mega hash at 756 watts at the wall, which is a 0.53 basically, and we're at 0.57 measured at the wall. So yeah, it's really good efficiency, and the shares per hour per watt is the highest of all these here, which is the efficiency that you get paid for. So best on both of those. And then yeah, MB miner ended up being best on the shares per mega hash, because it got slightly more shares per hour, even though it had more watts. This figure doesn't consider that. It got the same number of shares as Team Black Miner per hour, that is, but Team Black Miner claims higher watts. So in this metric here, which is just basically seeing how accurate the mega hash in the miner is, yeah, the least accurate was G miner and the most accurate was MB miner. And when I say least or most accurate, the most accurate could actually be understating the mega hash. It doesn't factor into this statistic, couldn't possibly determine that, but just for reference, you know, I got my other two rigs down there, roughly what it should be. These rigs have been running for a reasonable amount of time, so averaged out a bit. Yeah, so the conclusion to this is that Team Red Miner is by far superior, so we'll go ahead and highlight it green, because why not? Yeah, by far superior. It was more stable, accepted lower underclocks, and hence had the lowest power draw, had solid shares. The shares per hour, like, that's a little bit of a variable, especially given the time frame that I was testing these in. If I tested them like over a week of runtime, maybe we would, you know, get a bit more consistency in the numbers and stuff. But yeah, like ±2, I would say it's probably not that accurate, you know. Even like this one as well, probably within, because it's within 7 shares per hour. If we just ran it for a longer period of time, it would probably start to average out. You can see it in the miner, so the green line here is the shares. This is for my whole farm, but either way you can see how the shares swing up and down. So you can see, like, if I measured in, like, from here to here, it's not going to be very accurate, like that's like a low period. Or if I measured from here and testing finished there, like, it's obviously going to be very high. So I mean, if you guys can even see that, there's periods where it's high above the blue line there, and then periods where it's below the blue line. Arbitrary blue line, it's just the number of workers. But yeah, so all in all, Team Red Miner for this 6600 rig is by far the best. And actually, in my opinion, Team Red Miner is the best for all AMD cards in general, on as many algorithms as they support. The only algorithms I suspect they would be beaten on is ones that they don't support. So yeah, I do need to redo my ETH plus TON testing, because yeah, I found out Team Red Miner does support that now. Don't know when that happened, but I must have missed it. I did all my ETH plus TON mining tests on lolminer. They were the only one that was supported when I first did the ETH plus TON. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for this video anyway. Team Red Miner is the best. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if this helped you out in any way, and have a great day. See ya.